9, 8, 7, 6. You're now going live.
Well, it turns out nobody can hear you. We've got some technical difficulties here, but I am LOZ Cards Fan 23, and I will be co-commentating this run. Freeland is now going to be doing a zombie grind here. Every heart he gets is going to be worth 4, plus he'll get 3 experience points until he reaches 100. When he reaches 100 points, he will level up, and when that happens, he will gain defense. And every 2 level ups, his life bar will also increase. And as it turns out, nobody can hear me and nobody can hear Freeland. We're both muted. For some reason, we are both muted. We can hear your audio, but...
Alright, so even if I do a test, does anyone...
That might fix it. I had the mic off.
For that no one can hear us at all. Apparently... Oh, it can be heard, okay.
Yeah, I think I had the mic off. It was a dirt. Checked.
Alright, it looks like we've got everything under control, so let's get back to the run. So Freeland unfortunately did not get the 13 hearts in order to purchase both the white crystal and the holy water, so he's doing grinding on these zombies here. Every half heart they drop is worth 4 hearts to him, and they will also give him 3 experience points. We just saw him get the level up there, so he's not going to be able to get any more experience points until he enters a different zone that will give him more points.
And missing the Lizardman grind at the beginning is going to cost me at least 64 experience. Oh wait, no, 50 experience. I have enough hearts to buy if I farmed in the next town as opposed to here. When I did the run here a couple weeks ago, I ended up leveling up literally the last enemy before the blob on the blob boost. That's how tight the experience was in that run. And that's going to put me at a disadvantage in the middle part of the game since I'm 2. Periodically checking, see what my which time I have until it transitions to D. If I get enough hearts, I'll actually get a dagger as a safety measure. Barros, because You saw the run from the ESA Together run. Let's say Dracula had some fun.
Yeah, Dracula was not very kind to that run, and up until that point, Freeland actually had a really, really good marathon run going up to that fight, but Dracula 2 being Count Dracula per always in this game.
Unfortunately, in this game, shops are not open time, so we had to wait until it opens. Now we can pick up the second item that or the holy water. We can move on along. 186
now, if you know how to
hearts.
do low percent, you can actually compete this game without the holy water, but
Whip,
it
or whip
requires some
only.
Yeah, only low percent, yeah.
Whip only is the same run, except you have Morningstar. I'm not gonna have enough hearts to buy.
Whips here.
Stay on schedule. It's...
Now, you're talking about whips. There are 5 whips in the game. You start with the leather whip that does 1 HP of damage. There are only going to be 2 whips that you get to see in this game. The other whip is going to be the chain whip, which will do 4 HP of damage. The best whip of the game, which is the flame whip, does 15 HP of damage.
And right now we're heading for the blue crystal. I have about 10 seconds of buffer time to work with. A little bit less than glitchless. That's real. The blue crystal is basically the main time sink. If I don't get it, I'm gonna lose 3 minutes. We're gonna skip the dagger.
Right, the dagger costs 50 HP, does 2 HP of damage, and you can actually set it up to do crit kills on both Death and Dracula, but we don't have enough money to make that kind of purchase, and of course, this is a speedrun after all.
Only got 1 floor drop instead of the double floor drop going to the chain whip purchase here. You can actually do a double floor drop. It's the second whip is usually because you're trying to fall through a floor at the same time. You're falling through the floor at the same time. And if you floor drop too fast and that without letting the screen scroll, you can actually die.
Yeah, you actually almost did that the last time you did this room.
Alright, so time is of the essence on this run. I'm gonna try and get through here as quick as possible. My heart count's fine. I had 186 after the zombie girl. Down for the chain. I have probably somewhere around 60 or 70 hearts now. We're lucky
How many
I
hearts
might
he gets in the overworld will add to his experience total. He's now in a new zone of the game. The small hearts will give him 1 experience point and 2 hearts. Medium ones we already talked about. If he gets any large hearts, that's worth 6 hearts plus 5 points.
I think we had pretty good overworld movement, so we'll be able to pick up the blue crystal before the night transition with plenty of time to spare. Even with that snafu right there. Although it could prevent me from doing.
So Freeland's going to get this blue crystal. And the reason why he mentions that time is of the essence is if this turns night, that crystal trader won't be there. He'll have to wait until daytime if he wants to get the blue crystal.
And it's about 3 minutes after the game transitions from night, and you have to wait there. You could farm the level 2, but then pretty much nothing. We get the blue crystal. It's up the next floor drop. The 2 floor drops I'm about to do are save 40 seconds over the glitchless category where you take the stairs. At about 8 or 9 seconds after before the actual transition. I'm gonna stand here, kill these enemies from the ground so I don't mess up my subpixels like next floor drop. And unfortunately I didn't get it, so we gotta do a backup setup.
There you go.
Goes from a camera-related floor drop to a subpixel-related drop. Of course, setting up the floor drops requires using jumps, whipping during the jump and all that fun stuff. Even taking damage will affect Simon's Y subpixel value, and you set it up, you either need to have a value of 0, 8, or 16 to get the drop. Some floor drops you can just do by messing with the camera.
Alright, first mansion of the game. This is actually the second mansion if we were doing this in order. This is Rover Mansion, where we get Dracula's heart. The heart is what's needed to gain access to Brahms Mansion or Death Mansion, which is, you gotta show the heart to the ferryman to get there.
And if you don't show them on the heart, you better jump on the put the heart and then jump. Screen.
So now Freeland's going to use this purple block here to do a very nifty warp.
Did not get the jump. We're gonna have to go back there. It's a 3-pixel trick. I have to manipulate Simon's positioning on the screen to a number greater than 240. So it will transition me one screen to the right. But I did get the double floor drop, so there's that.
Nice double floor drop. Now that room that you just saw is from a later mansion of the game. That's the Ruba Mansion, where we fight Carmilla, but we'll get to that later.
Hopefully in about 20 minutes or so. Wait, no, 10. We're gonna do a 2-frame oak stake throw here, so I can just... Otherwise I'd have to do a different setup to do this floor drop. We're gonna check for double oak stakes. Should have enough hearts. Nope. Thought I had enough. I didn't check. I think I had 48 actually.
Oh man, that's brutal. That's what we call marathon luck, folks.
Yep.
One drop short.
As a result, I fell on the spikes and took 4 bars of damage, or 16 damage, for no good reason.
Yep, and no matter how much health you have, no matter what level you're on, those spikes are always going to do four full bars of damage. Say that 3 times fast.
So you saw on that last screen, I did a whip jump. There, that allows me to clip into the 3-block height, do a 3-block whip jump. By clipping into the block. We're gonna do we're gonna do 2 more before the end of the run, but it's basically one of the tricks that's banned in glitchless. You can whip jump to a 3-block height.
Yep, that is correct. And also in the FDS version, you actually can't do a whip jump. So doing the whip jump where he just got out of Rover Mansion, you can't do that in the FDS version. Plus, you can't do the Carmilla Cemetery jump, nor can you do the blob boost.
Yep. Blob boost is another example of a whip jump there, but we're going to use a whip jump and a damage boost or 4-block high jump. And also trick the game into sending us to the Ruba Mansion. I get the very painful thing if I don't get it. I'm gonna have to skew the spider boost. I don't have enough health. Otherwise, I could just use the spider web to boost and get the game to position me on that top flat. Entering Berkeley Mansion, we're going to pick up Dracula's rib.
That rib acts as a shield. It's very useful to have because there's a lot of enemies that like to shoot fireballs at you, and they will protect you from those shots. But you can only do it while you're standing still.
Standing still or jumping? Blob wants to do. In my health situation, I have to stand there and kill the blob. I prefer to stave off the first death as long as I can. In this game, when you die 3 times, you'll take a game over, and this game will take away all your experience and hearts. Experience towards the next
right.
level.
There's also no opportunities to gain extra lives either. You have 3 lives, and that's it.
Since the double oak stake plan didn't go well, we're gonna have to buy an oak stake here instead. Double oak stake saves about 10 seconds. No, I think it's 6 seconds.
Yep, and then you're going to be doing a floor drop coming up, the double floor drop. We'll see what happens there, and you're going to be purchasing that oak stake. Of course, we want to invest in an oak stake because they're the hot stock right now.
Yep. 50 hearts apiece. Alright, we're gonna set it up again. Hit the double floor drop.
Very nice.
That's a setup that I invented that turns a 128 subpixel into an 8 subpixel and then allows you to just go for a setup floor. Right here. I'm gonna equip the heart here because that way I can save a menu. Equipping the heart. So, although it doesn't really save that much time if you know. Careful, every enemy on this screen can kill me.
Nice, got a large heart from that gargoyle. And another one.
Definitely help my heart count when I have to fight Carmilla. Nothing in this mansion is going to give me experience too.
No, he's at 53 points, and that total will not go up until he goes left of the starting town of Jova.
53 is really low, even for this route. So I'm definitely in a lot of hot water.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot of drops to happen in Brahms Mansion.
100 experience worth of hearts between here and the blob boost. I don't have enough health, so I'm not going to risk the falling into the swamp. We're gonna have to take a death on the way to Bronze Mansion. I don't have enough health to... And there's no level up. And... I'm contemplating whether I should take the death and take a faster death by potentially dropping in the water, or if I should just take the death when I take damage.
Yeah, if you set up the move to do a floor drop in the water in town, you can actually have a faster death animation. You can also do it in other spots as well. I know in Vrad Graveyard you can do the same thing.
I believe it's what happens when you die over a spot that doesn't have a block underneath it that Simon can land. Do it in, that happens in the Lazy Rivers. If you played the rando. Oh yeah, I just thought of something here. We'll take a safety heal. I'd rather have that extra life than the 20 seconds it takes to go.
Yep, the only two ways you can refill your health in this game is either to go to a church, which is what Freeland is doing right now, or to get a level up. There is no mythical wall turkey here in this game.
There's a limited item sale in the first Castlevania where they brought it back due to popular demand.
Absolutely.
Go for a 2-frame Holy One. Actually, go for a 2-frame. So there, that was a floor drop setup. That if I whip 2 frames after I start my jump, it gives me an 8 subpixel. Of course, I got it first try.
Very nice.
I should be collecting experience again.
Nice, both of those mudmen gave you a heart.
Have the heart equipped and we'll talk to the fairy guy. We'll give you a different text box depending on which item you have equipped on the top row. We can get the long boat jump. That is a frame perfect input. You have to press the jump button exactly 1 frame after letting it add to get the momentum to add up. And the launch time.
What I think a lot of people would consider the most difficult mansion of the game, because there are no shortcuts. There is no short way. It's a very long mansion, and you have a lot of enemies that are trying to stop you on stairs, like those darn knights there. Plus, as you can see, that chain whip is not going to take him down in 1 hit, except for the blobs. Oh, speaking of the blobs, that blob thought about giving you the business there.
It did give me the business.
Oh, man.
And the next one did too. Kill this skeleton because I need help. Experience. Let's see how bad it is when I menu the oak steak. We're gonna pick up Dracula's eyeball here. It has no functionality speed run, but it does have more functionality in the randomizer for this quest.
Yes, because with the eyeball, and of course this does apply to the vanilla game as well, you're able to see the location of those 13 riddles. While they really don't do much for this game, they're actually very beneficial in the randomizer.
I'm gonna take a shortcut here. I'm gonna make sure that Spirit Knight doesn't troll us. We're gonna buy our third oak steak. We're gonna set up another floor drop. We're gonna touch stairs, which allows me to reset my subpixel. 4 bonks here. This is a new setup that Retro Gaming 2084 came up with when JC was grinding the sub 31 world record. Nope, no death jump.
Ah, that's a very tight jump as well. How many frames is that?
Way I did it's a 3 frame setup, but there's actually a one frame setup on that jump. Dang, it's too early to be killed by blobs.
Man, those blobs just doing a number. I mean, you talk about the blob boost that's coming up in a little bit. I mean, blobs everywhere. They just love the troll.
And that is statistic. That is the biggest time loss in the game overall. Fortunately, death decided. Fortunately, the death kill wasn't very painful.
Yeah, that was a very good death kill. Did it on the second holy water there. When you get a crit, when the holy water takes damage, I think it's on the last frame of being on there, it does 185 HP of damage, and with death only having 128 HP, it's better to do that than to try to get 32 chain whip strikes on him.
We'll see that strat again when we come up to Dracula. Basically, I have to hit, the holy water has to deal damage on, has to hit on the first possible frame that death is vulnerable if it's after the first one. I believe it has to be on the edge of the
coming for you. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna check my experience once I get the 4th oak steak. I should have parts for that. If I game over the blob, I would still need to farm probably at least 50 hearts, and we get to kill Carmilla with the whip. Or as I like to call it, the fun way. Let's see. He won. We're gonna have to farm somewhere. Not sure where though. Probably in this mansion though, because I don't want to advance the day-night clock yet.
Yeah, this is a good grinding spot because you're going to get 5 experience points on each gargoyle and 3 for the not the axe.
This is
knights,
safer
but the
than the next
spear knight.
screen. Oh wait, I have safer than going the next screen. I could throw daggers at him because it doesn't affect the experience. That's why I need this. Take the level 2
Gold
level
knife
up.
will do the same amount of damage as the whip that you currently have, plus you can hit him 3 times, so it'll do up to 12 damage. Oh, swing and a miss!
Sometimes you swing and miss at the first pitch, the second one gets hit 500 feet.
There you go. So once Freeland gets to 150 experience points, he will level up again to level 2, and his health meter will increase. In addition, of course, his defense will also go up.
And to put it bluntly, it doubles the number of chances I can, more than doubles the number of chances I get at the blob boost per life.
Do we have time for a donation?
Yeah, we do.
Awesome. So we've got the $20 from Two Snake that he was talking about earlier, saying, "Let's go Blob Boost." So thank you so much. What is it? Oh, I meant euros. Yeah, thank you so much for 20 euros donations. Just as a little reminder before you get on, I just like to remind that we've got 2 bid wars coming up. One for Darkest Dungeon, that is right after this Castlevania run, and also for the Resident Evil 5 run after that run of Darkest Dungeon. So definitely, we're closing in on time for those ones, but there is still time to contribute towards them. So definitely get those donations in. It's all going towards the Red Cross, so it's really a great cause to donate for. So thank you everyone for your generosity, and enjoy the rest.
Alright, so now we're gonna head over towards the town of Alba, pick up the red crystal, and then we're good to go for day. No longer beholden to that.
Now, the red crystal in this particular run is not required for advancement. However, you do need it because it is one of the 7 checks the game makes when you get to the bridge before Dracula's castle. You need the red crystal, the cross, and the 5 parts.
Of course, the final 3 parts are found in Laruba Mansion. The orb item is orb item Carmilla, the boss, the only required boss in the, and then the Bodley Mansion orb. All right, so this is where the luck, where we need a lot of good luck here. First, I need to avoid taking damage if I can. Throwing daggers for the plenty of hearts because I had to farm. And we got the floor drop. That was another camera-based floor drop there. There's no setup behind it.
Very nicely done. Very nicely done.
Now we're on the blob boost screen.
Yep, this is the part of the game where the speedruns come to die. Let's see if you can get lucky.
Should be able to do 7 because I only got hit by a like no. Oh, that was good. That would have worked, but I was a little bit early on the jump.
Oh yeah, that was the right height. Tough break.
And that one was 2, and then I had iframes too. I can already tell this is going to be an adventure. Still got one more life if this doesn't work out. You're fired, Blob. Get a new one. Try again. Oh, not again. It's...
Oh, that was right there. So close.
Blob's giving me patterns, but I just, for whatever reason, can't be in position for it. And we're gonna take a game over. And I had about 3 or 4 minutes. But the bright side is, show off the Bodley Mansion double floor drop.
Oh, very nice. Yep, so he's not going to have enough hearts. He's going to have to grind for 50 hearts to purchase the final oak stake. And unfortunately, in Laruba Mansion, everything has 30 HP. That's 8 chain whip strikes.
So it's not even worth farming in there.
Yep, that's why he's going to do it in Bodley Mansion, because they have 15 HP, so that is only 4 hits apiece instead.
Plus, I'll have chances to pick up hearts in the overworld. Okay, now the blob's just not giving me. That one was too high. Then that's actually possible. Might be too close to the wall. We're running into another potential game over here. This is why the estimate is very generous relative to 1.5 time.
Yep, this blob, he does what he pleases.
I'm gonna get on top of it when I get the right pattern. It's hitting me from behind, as opposed to below. Hit another game over, so it doesn't really change things. It probably at most 20 hearts. Anticipate when this blob will jump. Whip jump, there we go. Still probably saved, still saved about 1.5 minutes.
There you go, very nice,
very nice. I'm gonna kill this one.
So this is the final mansion of the game. Technically, this is Laruba Mansion, where you pick up both the ring, which does absolutely nothing, and the Sacred Cross.
Hopefully you get about at least 20 or 30 hearts before you leave this mansion. We're gonna be killing everything in my way. It's gonna be a little bit, gonna slow things down a little bit, but we need the hearts. I think we're at 12. Seeing here, each enemy takes 8 hits with the chain whip to kill. Oh, there goes my floor drop. I think we can set it up by camera. Works. Well, I didn't do the floor drop correct. We're gonna pick up these laurels.
Yep, that'll top them off to the maximum you can carry, which is 4 laurels, and they're going to be very useful in the marsh coming up after this mansion.
I'm gonna grab Dracula's ring and then we're gonna whip down Carmilla. Magic Cross. Maybe I should fight her right now since she's doing her spinning pattern.
It's going to take 60 whip strikes to take down Carmilla. Each, of course, hit does 4 damage, and Carmilla has 240 HP.
Alright, so that's 27. We're about halfway. I need to make sure I don't jump into her.
Yeah, you don't want to jump into her because that'll be the end of Simon Belmont because she does a lot of damage.
Because I screwed up the last cycle. Well, for whipping Carmilla, that's decent RNG. Magic Cross and we're gonna ring.
Not too shabby.
Normally what I would do is after picking up the cross, I would actually kill Carmilla by using the gold knife, but I have no hearts. Do that, so we have to kill Carmilla with the whip. $20 hearts. We need 30 more to buy the final oak signal. I'm down. Alright, this spider's just trolling me. So now we need... Actually, I might be able to get the final oak stake here. 6. I might be able to, I might just farm here. I need 4 drops. We'll farm up top here. We need only 3. I only need 3 drops to able to afford an oak stake. So no Bodley double floor drop, unfortunately.
Oh well, yeah. Bodley Mansion is the shortest mansion of the game because that mansion loves false walls and false floors, but the Oak Stake Merchant is in a very inconvenient spot. So now that Freeland is only a few hearts away, he's just going to grind the rest of the hearts and pick up the Oak Stake here.
Fortunately, I'm farming this guy because I don't want the vendor in the way. Alright, 52, and now that means I can buy an oak stake. Slightly faster than just going through Bodley. That's...
Yeah, you had some pretty good RNG on the heart drops here in Laruba.
We're gonna sub another floor drop. We're gonna reset the sub-pixel on the stairs. And this guy should probably take a death. Falling down so that way I have the least amount of progress lost when I die. Inevitably walk into a skeleton. Now we're gonna head out of here and head for Bodley Mansion. Those fast Bodley Mansion strats. Holy water. Farm those guys, I don't need hearts. Switch to laurels here. No, laurels are temporary invincibility.
Yeah, I believe they last approximately 7 seconds each.
Somewhere around that ballpark. Holy water here. Easier for me to set up damage boosts on this screen with the holy water. Because it's certainly faster than whipping these guys 8 times. Past the first wave of enemies cleanly. And this boost right these boosts here aren't too set up. Unfortunately, I didn't jump out there, so we're the skeleton. I'm gonna have to check my heart count once I get Dracula's nail on the final piece. I go to his castle. Do another 3-block whip jump because the When you do a whip jump, the game gives you an extra in the I think LZ explained it earlier, but it gives you an extra vertical pixel, which is exactly what you need to execute that block jump.
Yep, that's exactly right. It may not seem like much, but that is just what you need to clear that jump that you normally couldn't do.
Should have hearts now. Good, I need a few hearts for the ending. I'll be using the golden knife. Holy wow, we're gonna break these blocks. Up a couple here.
Very nice.
Really hard to do both those floor drops fast.
Very nicely done there. Those are some great drops. Now, for those of you wondering where the Oak Steak Merchant is, he's right above us.
Literally, the fastest way to get to him is to do a double floor drop, and upon landing on the first invisible tile, doing a forward jump. So you jump into a fake floor and then wrap around the screen for momentum intact. It's a cool strat, but it requires doing 2 frame perfect whips on floor drops. Put the nail. This is a strat that was previously in the task, but then nobody ever did it. A few months ago when SB started running this game. And we're gonna carry the nail all the way to the end. Save time, I can throw dagger. Real nice at these guys.
Yep, they have 8 HP during the day, so just 2 whip strikes or 1 gold knife.
I'm gonna whip that last Medusa so I don't burn through all my hearts. And of course, at this point, I don't really care if I die as soon as I get past the swamp screen. That is, because the heart count is pretty much meaningless. You're gonna kill Dracula without using hearts, ideally. Look at this gold knife crit here. Yep.
Nice.
That's what happens when you hit the gold knife on enemies that are literally overlapped right on top of each other. Kinda like how the multi-hit glitch works in the first Castlevania. See if we can get on these lizardmen. Alright. Show up that off. Now we're now down the home stretch here. I have 1 lore left, so I'll probably end up taking a death at some point in the next screen. Next screen where you have the mummies and they deal 16 damage at this point of the game. 4 health bar.
Yep. This is the last town of the game, and as you can see, it's quite abandoned.
It has no color either. I like to joke that Dracula sucked out the color. That's what I'm getting from the mummies. 2 nice mummies, and I'll use a laurel over the 3rd. That takes care of the birds, and I can choose how I die. That death is intentional, because I want to have full health going into Drac if I can. Or at least at more than 40.
Yeah, because Dracula's body in that fight does more damage than anything else in this game.
I have full health going into Drac.
So, going into Dracula's castle, Freeland is going to try to do the quad drop, and let's see if he can pull it off. It's a lot of hype.
Like the double floor drop, except you're doing 4. 4 frame perfect precise input floor drop. Fortunately, the setup isn't hard. I remember to menu the right item. Good to go. There's 2 setups I could have done. I could have done a whip jump setup, 2 frame whip jump setup, or I could. Alright, we got a double floor drop. Second best outcome. Up another floor drop. This one's a camera related floor drop. And then we'll try to do a double crit on Dracula with the I'll do the whip setup. Instead, we'll do a single crit setup on track. Give myself a little bit more flexibility.
Absolutely. Since Dracula has 240 HP, and as I had mentioned earlier, crit does 185 HP, so you'd have to land 2 of those holy water crits to take down Dracula. Here we go.
14 times. Should be down to 184 as a result of that. And that way you only have to crit him once to beat him. That's time.
Nice job. Great fight.
Got the crit at least. Bob decided to be a troll and I didn't do a good job of executing the... I got quite a few patterns on the first couple lives. But that's about it.
Well, congratulations.
Of course, this game has multiple endings, but in the speedrun sense, we're only getting the best ending. That's Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest as a speedrun. Any percent is not the only category you can run in this game. There's 80% glitchless, you can do 100% route, which actually goes completely different route than the... It goes left instead of... There you can do it without sub-weapons, or heck, you can do it without whips, although I don't recommend. There are no whip upgrades. I know upgrades run.
Well, Fran, thank you so much for running the games. It was really amazing. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we move on to the next run?
If you're also interested, the Castlevania 2 game, Simon's Quest also has a randomizer. Well, it's an enemy and item randomizer, and it's got quality life patches that take some of the negative parts of this game, mitigates them to some degree. If you're interested, you can... If you're interested, there is a Discord release, Castlevania 2 random. And you can just DM me or Blood, Sweat, and Code on Discord if you're... Good for me.
Awesome. Well, do make sure to everyone to give a follow to both Freeland for this amazing run, as well as to Lost Cars Fan for the amazing commentary. Certainly shout outs to both of you guys for this. So in just a moment, we'll be going into intermission while we'll be waiting for the next run that will be Darkest Dungeon. So remember, there is still the bid war going on for that. So let's get hyped for that. So this is BSG Online, and we'll be seeing...